Welcome. Today is a vlog day. I just wanted to give you guys a quick update on where I am and why I'm here and how I'm doing, because this isn't Paris. I'm actually in Michigan right now. My dad was diagnosed with squamous cell carcinoma of the bladder just over a month ago, and a lot has happened in like a month and a half. But also nothing has happened at all. Like, there's a lot that has changed in my life and in my awareness, but also nothing has changed at all. So yeah, he was diagnosed with cancer of the bladder, and it was 20% squamous cell. And so he decided, since that's an aggressive form of cancer and comes back no matter what, to completely forego staging and chemo and just have it removed. So I got on the first flight that I could and to take care of him for what's happening next. And to be perfectly honest with you, this would be the kind of thing that, had this happened, had I started the channel a year ago and this happened then that would be the kind of thing that would just completely stop all progress and I would just give it up. My dad having cancer is unsettling enough as it is, and I had actually really just like weeks before gotten settled in Paris after something like 7 years pretty much on the road, and I was ready to like hunker down and be in one place for a bit. So being here now isn't in any way stressful. It doesn't feel like a disruption to my life. It's just something that's happening, and I feel pretty grateful that I actually get to be a part of it. A year ago, I would have been milking the situation in some way. I would have been looking for pity and looking for attention and hanging on to the fear and hanging on to the stress and hanging on to being broken up about it, and using that to get attention from my friends, using that to get pity. And it's not to say that I was consciously doing this. This is just something that would have come naturally to me. It would have been, there was no other option for me. There was no option to just be present in this situation and look at the circumstances as they are. And, you know, once I got here and I was in front of my dad, it was a lot easier to see that situation for not that scary. And I've been really, really, really lucky, and I'm very grateful that my dad has been dealing with this with such grace, because he just immediately accepted his circumstances. He accepted his fate. He said, well, I can either go through all of these things and I'm going to suffer, or I can have this and have the bladder removed, and my life is going to be different, but at least I get to live. And it's going to be a better quality of life than it would be having had chemo, at least for the short term. When I initially got the news, of course, I had a little breakdown. I cried a few times, and I kind of just checked out for the whole weekend. I didn't edit, I didn't record, I didn't really call anybody. I kind of just shut my phone off and went inward and, binged movies and went on a walk if I felt like a walk, and ate whatever I wanted to eat, and just I didn't really worry about anything, and I didn't guilt myself over it either. I let the feelings be felt, but I didn't really dwell in them, and I didn't hang on to them to make that my new state of being. I just kind of let them happen, and then come Monday, I said, okay, well, I still have a video to put out, which I edited, but I didn't actually put out until like a week or two after I got here. And then I got on the plane and I came here. And once in front of my dad, he wasn't suffering. He was fully him. His life really hadn't changed much, so there was no reason to hang on to fear, because for right now, what we know, or what we knew at the time, was, well, the cancer hasn't spread. The bladder, I think, it's the only organ we can live without, and there's really nothing to worry about because the next steps are planned. So the former me would have been just worried and anxious, and probably putting a lot of that worry and anxiety onto my dad, even though he wasn't feeling it and he certainly wasn't showing it. There's a lot of like, I don't know if self-congratulatory, just acknowledgement. Like, I recognize that I've done a lot of work, and that I have that really looking at myself and being honest with myself about what I see has brought me to like a very peaceful place with this whole thing. And just like full update, he had his bladder removed on February 2nd. The surgery was a complete success. The final pathology came back negative, so there's no cancer anywhere else in the body, and his surgeon was great. She was amazing, and she reassured both me and him several times that he made the right decision. And he actually asked her if anybody else had ever, how many people choose to forego chemo, and she said, you're the first one, and you made the right decision. So that's really reassuring, and he's doing well. The recovery is going well. He just got his staples out yesterday, and he's in pretty good spirits. I think that the hardest thing for him right now is just that he's not autonomous. But that's really not that bad, and there's something really beautiful that's happening in our relationship, because we've already been close for a long time, and we just keep getting closer over the years, and this is just bringing us even closer. We're moving out of the roles of father-daughter, and it's not even really caretaker-patient. It's just kind of soul to soul. I mean, it's like baby steps, because that's a really hard thing to let go of, but there's always something to be grateful in every situation, and I'm already finding this really, really rich. And again, I know I'm lucky that the cancer is gone, and my dad is the most pragmatic person on the planet, so he's making it really easy for me. But still, there's good that's coming out of the situation. So it's not only that I would have been milking the situation and using it as like leverage for attention and pity for whoever I could get it from, but I also would have just used it as an excuse and a justification to completely stop this project. And that's just not happening either. It took me a minute to get back into the rhythm of things, because my day is constantly interrupted by small things, and just having another presence in the house, which I'm not used to, having to work around that, and the dog, and little things like that. But I'm the kind of person who it takes me a minute to get into a groove, like get into a rhythm of working on things, and if I get derailed, then it's kind of hard to get back on track. So this is also training to just get right back on track, because I don't have any time to lose. Like I could spend a month making one video if I let this get the better of me. Oh, the other thing that's cool about it is that I don't know how many of you, like what stage in your life you are, if you've ever spent, like if you've left the house and you've been gone for a few years. I've been gone for almost 20 years, and I did spend a lot of time with my parents, both of my parents, last winter, 4 months altogether, which was kind of insane. It was just such like an exponential growth period. So if you think, I think it was Ram Dass who said, if you think you're enlightened, go spend a week with your parents, and that's totally true. And I went and spent 4 months with them, and we both, on both sides, almost killed each other, but we both, on both of my relationships with both of them, ended up so much stronger because of it, because we were able to like sit down and talk about it and look at what was going wrong. And I realized, that I was projecting certain personalities and things that I was having a problem within myself. And I found a lot of beauty in those sort of dark situations as well. They didn't last long, but they were necessary for growth. So this time, I've grown so much in the last year, and this is sort of like a new identity. It's weird because I don't feel like this is a new identity. I feel like everything else that I have been before this was an identity that I was wearing, and I took all of that off, and this is who I am. So whatever way you want to look at it, this is not exactly who my family knows me as. So I think maybe they actually don't see a difference in my personality or in my behavior at all. And this is purely only happening in my mind. But the fact of the matter is, when I expect them to see me in a certain way, I'm going to act a certain way. And so it's a mirror, because it's showing me that I am stepping into this identity, this real me, without fear of judgment or needing them to validate it. This is just who I am. All in all, we're both doing really well. I am finally getting back into, like, only this week, and I think I've been here about a month now, but I'm finally getting back into a rhythm where I can be productive around the house, and I can be productive with this. And that's pretty cool. I'm excited to get back at it. I'm currently editing another video about the things that I've done over the last year to keep me afloat and keep me on track when my procrastinating nature tries to take over, because I am the master procrastinator and the queen of the dilettantes, and I really don't want to stop this project. I want to keep it going. So that video is just about 7 things that helped me, 7 things of many that have helped me stay on track, or at least over the last like 4 months, but definitely over the last year. And it took me a minute to get back into that rhythm, and I think going into this, I thought it was going to be a lot harder, because, you know, like when you're in a rut, it takes you a minute to like rock back and forth, sort of like metaphorically speaking, but also literally, to like get over that first initial hump. And I thought that it was going to be that difficult when I started it again, but it wasn't. It was actually a lot easier. So I'm back. I just had to figure out what the rhythm of the house was going to be and adapt myself to that, and then, you know, move on. So yeah, I think that's about it. I just wanted to give you guys a little heads up. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think. If you want more stories from my life, I'd be happy to share them. And otherwise, say hi in the comments anyway. Let me know where you're from, and I will see you soon. Hi, welcome to my channel. Welcome. Hi. This is the worst. So hi. There's like tingling involved.